House will come to order. House will be at ease. House will come to order. Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, members of the House, appreciate your diligence in getting conference reports. So we have about 32 conference reports that have come in, so we're going to work our way through those presently. So a conference report going back to the original, I'm sorry, before we do that, so just FYI, there's a supplemental calendar 1 that has SJ 209, which is confirming additional appointments by the governor. The legislation has been referred to Committee on P&E by the Speaker. That is informational only. So we're using the regular calendar if you're following an IHOD or the printed version. We're in the category. First, we'll do the House bills, conference reports, and then we'll do the Senate ones. So a conference report has been received for, what number is that? I can't read the whole time. 17? That's page 17. 17. I know, I just couldn't read your hand. For House Bill 319, the lead conferee of which is Delegate Hernandez. House Bill 319, this conference report deals with directing the Department of Elections to convene a work group on the implementation of back-end opt-out automatic voter registration. The conference report is available to the members here, to the public. It is now before you.
Delegate from Norfolk, Delegate Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a reminder, this is a legislation that is requiring a work group to look at strengthening our automatic voter registration law. In the conference report, we have changed who is convening that. So initially it was the Department of Elections. Now it's going to be the Secretary of Administration. The bill also tailors a little bit more succinctly what the scope of the work group will be. So with that, I would move adoption of the conference report.
Shall the conference report be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 61, noes 31.
Ayes 61, noes 31. The conference report is adopted.
Next conference report is on page 18, House Bill 425, which is Delegate LaVera Bowling's legislation. This conference report relates to the Department of Medical Assistance Services, remote monitoring services through pregnancy and postpartum for high-risk pregnant patients and patients with advanced maternal age reimbursement. The conference report is available to the members, to the public. It is now before the body.
The delegate from Henrico County, Delegate LaVera Bowling.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The compromise with the Senate expands coverage for remote patient monitoring for high-risk pregnant individuals through 12 months postpartum. It also directs DMAS to assess coverage for pregnant individuals age 35 and older through the full postpartum year and report its findings by November 1, 2026, with the goal of informing potential future expansion of remote patient monitoring coverage for the population. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 86, noes 9.
Ayes 86, noes 9. The conference report is adopted.
Going ahead to page 23, conference report. Our conference report has been received for House Bill 894, the lead conferee for which is, the bill's patron actually, is Delegate Sullivan. So House Bill 894, this conference report relates to private elementary and secondary schools, student codes of conduct, policies relating to bullying, and cyberbullying requirements. Conference report is available to the members of the public and before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. HB 894 is the bullying in private schools bill, putting regulations in place in our private schools. The conference report aligns 894 with SB 341, Senator Boysko's bill, which we passed on Monday of this week. I move that we adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 65, noes 30.
Ayes 65, noes 30. The conference report is adopted.
turning to page 24, conference report has been received for Delegate Simon's House Bill 931. This conference report relates to recovery residences regulations. Conference report is available to members of the public and before you now.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House. House Bill 931, as you may remember, is a bill that helps to regulate recovery residences. The conference report does two things. It actually does one thing. It has a delayed enactment for 6 months on two provisions of the bill, which require DBDHS to promulgate new regulations. It gives them another 6 months to get those regulations in place. And so with that, I move the conference report be adopted.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 94, no 0.
Ayes 94, no 0. The conference report is agreed to.
Next conference report we received on page 26. Delegate Siebold, I believe, is the lead conferee for House Bill 994. House Bill 994, which relates to photo speed monitoring devices, placement, and operation. The conference report is available to the public, to the members, and is now before the body.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Siebold.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there's been a lot of discussion on this floor about speed cameras in this chamber this session. So very quickly, before I give you the status of this conference report, I wanted to tell you a little more about where this bill came from. In 2022, 3 of my constituents were walking home from Oakton High School and were struck by a speeding driver, another student at the school who was driving 80 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. Leon Yan, who was 15, Ada Martinez Nolasco, age 14, died immediately. The third, Ada's cousin, also 15, was seriously injured. The other student is now in prison, and the other 5 kids who were in that car are forever tortured. This tragedy devastated my community, Mr. Speaker, but I am not the only one in this room who lost constituents in their community due to extreme speed this year. 1 15 and 2 16-year-olds in Henrico, a 3-year-old girl in Winchester, 2 16-year-olds in Halifax County, right here in Richmond. While we were conducting business in the Capitol, just outside, 7 pedestrians were hit, Mr. Speaker, within a 3-week period while we were in session, and so many more. In fact, as we sit in this chamber today debating a small penalty for illegally speeding through school zones, another parent in any of our districts could be receiving a call right now, that devastating call that their child has gone too soon as a result of a driver driving too fast. And now these stories, Mr. Speaker, are becoming far too common. A pedestrian in a crosswalk, a child walking home from school, a neighbor crossing the street in their own community. Pedestrian injuries are occurring at a rate approaching that of non-fatal opioid overdoses and firearm injuries. And car crashes remain one of the leading causes of death in this country, and they are 100% preventable. I don't know about you, Mr. Speaker, but I sure ran for office because I wanted to protect the most vulnerable amongst us and the families that we serve. We have a tool now. We have a tool that can slow drivers down and prevent every one of those losses. And we have a responsibility as legislators to use it. Because every one of these tragedies leaves behind a family whose lives will never be the same. Because protecting life shouldn't stop at words. This is finally your chance in this chamber to vote on this conference report and save lives. Put your words into action. This bill, more specifically, reforms the current policy so the cameras are placed in those high-risk areas. We know that when implemented correctly, speed cameras have been shown to reduce speeding by more than 90%, which means that drivers will slow down and fewer lives will be lost. And that's what this conference report will accomplish. With the proper data privacy and profiteering guardrails in place, we'll soon learn about from Chair Delaney's bill, localities will finally have the authority to strategically place cameras in high-risk speed corridors, also known as red zones that you'll see in this bill, and they are limited to under 45 miles per hour, so that those kids who are walking home from school will make it home. I move that we pass this conference report, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 60, noes 34.
Ayes 60, noes 34. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 28, we come to a conference report on House Bill 1041. I believe Delegate Carr is the patron. House Bill 1041 relates to the Department of Corrections, establishment of a general system of schools for incarcerated individuals. A Virginia Prison Education Task Force established report. The conference report is available to the members of the public and before you now.
The Delegate from Richmond City, Delegate Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. HB 1041, which provides opportunities for education in our state prison system, had been amended in the Senate Finance to reduce potential fiscal impacts. In doing so, two small but important details were inadvertently removed. The conference report simply ensures we have the correct agencies named and restores an enactment clause guiding the implementation of the bill's functional literacy components. I hope the conference report will be adopted.
Shall the conference report be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 94, noes 0.
Ayes 94, noes 0. The conference report is agreed to.
On that same page, we come to House Bill 1186. This conference report relates to requiring the Department of Education to collect information on the use of artificial intelligence systems for students' instruction in each local school division and any school board policies governing such use. Report. Conference report is available to the members of the public and before you.
Delegate from Roanoke City, Delegate Rasool.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The conference report for House Bill 1186 aims to now streamline some of the definitions that with the Senate cognate, which you'll see here momentarily, and also the guidance around AI in our schools, ensuring that the department will come up with some guidance that it can then give to school divisions on how to properly employ AI. I hope you pledge the body to adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 95, noes 0.
Ayes 95, noes 0. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 29, we've received a conference report for Delegate Sewell's House Bill 1207, which relates to paid family and medical leave insurance program, notice requirements, civil action. Conference report is available to the members here in the chamber, to the public at large, and is now before the body.
Delegate from Prince William, Delegate Sewell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, House Bill 1207 will establish a paid family and medical leave program here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, ensuring up to 12 weeks of paid leave for hardworking Virginians who need to care for a loved one, welcome a new baby, or recover from a serious illness or injury. With the conference report, we revert back to the definition of employer as it left this body. Mr. Speaker, this paid family medical leave program isn't just the right thing to do, it's essential for a healthy workforce and a stronger economy. Paid leave helps businesses attract and retain talent. It ensures that workers don't have to choose between keeping their jobs and caring for their families. With that, Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt the conference report, and I ask my colleagues to join me in voting yes.
Delegate from Patrick County, Delegate Williams.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the bill.
The delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, did you know that March is designated by Virginia as Tax Withholding and Employer Contribution Awareness Month? This started in 2015, and the point was to have working Virginians be better able to understand exactly what's being taken out of their paychecks and what their employer is paying on their behalf that they never even see. So this month could not have come at a better time for transparency. Let's shine some lights on the fact. This is a permanent, mandatory payroll deduction on every employee in the Commonwealth, matched by every employer to self-fund a government benefit program that won't pay out a single dollar for 3 years while they build out a $350,000 bureaucracy to run it. Sure, no new taxes, but just 3 new cost mandates on every employer and every employee in Virginia in perpetuity. So, in the spirit of awareness, here's something I want every working Virginian to mark on their calendar, July 1st, because once these bills head to the governor's desk, you can expect a brand new line item on your pay stub. Maybe they can make that, what they did is create this brand new permanent entitlement program. They attached a mandatory payroll assessment to fund it, and they put it on every employer and employee in the Commonwealth indefinitely. That little deduction is the cost of what happened here this session, and unlike the promises that sell it, that line item on your check will forever be a tax on your income. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 62, noes 33.
Ayes 62, noes 33. The conference report is agreed to.
Remaining on page 29, we come next to a conference report for House Bill 1220. This is legislation relating to photo speed monitoring devices, placement, and operation. The conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is out before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Delaney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So this bill is the guardrails bill, the very anti-tyranny bill. What it does is it restricts localities' revenue to the use for just road safety projects. It creates a uniform summons that will be equivalent across the Commonwealth, requires just some advanced safety, such as speed display before you get to the camera, and it allows a judge to provide injunctive relief and compensatory damages when a locality willfully violates the law. And I ask that we support the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 70, noes 25.
Ayes 70, noes 25. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 30, a conference report is received for Delegate Reesers. House Bill 1278. This conference report relates to school board policies, communication, and language accessibility for limited English proficient parents requirements. Conference report is available to the members of the public. It is now before you.
Delegate from Loudoun County, Delegate Reese.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The conference report brings the bill back to the version that passed the House originally. It removes a provision that created a VDOE obligation, therefore removing the fiscal impact, since the Senate had made appropriations but the House had not. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 30.
Ayes 64, noes 30. Conference report is agreed to.
The next conference report is found on page 31, and it is Delegate Carlson's House Bill 1366. This conference report relates to the Department of Social Services, corrective action plans, and assumption of temporary control of local boards and local departments. Conference report is available to the members, to the public, and before you now.
Delegate from Albemarle, Delegate Carlson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 1366 allows the state to assume temporary corrective control over local departments who either request help or are struggling with legal compliance or poor outcomes. The conference report makes it so that when they are assuming that temporary control, they can only maintain the locality's funding. They cannot increase it. Mr. Speaker, I think that's a prudent decision, and I move that the House adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk, close the roll.
Ayes 90, noes 5.
Ayes 90, noes 5. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 32, we have received a conference report for Delegate Shin's House Bill 1439. This conference report relates to regulation of contractors, solar installation companies, sale, lease, or power purchase of solar energy systems, civil penalty. The conference report is available to the members, to the public. It is now before the House.
The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Shin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, House Bill 1439, during the conference report, we got it into identical positions with its cognate Senate Bill 823, and so now they are in identical positions, which, as a reminder to the body, House Bill 1439 passed out on February 17th, 97-0, and we passed Senate Bill 823 just a couple days ago, 95-4, and I would move that the House adopt the conference report, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk, close the roll.
Ayes 91, noes 4.
Ayes 91, noes 4. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 33, we have another conference report by a bill patroned by Delegate Shin. This one, HB 1464, relates to victims of crime, reimbursement for expenses, coordinator of the Virginia Sexual Assault Forensic Examiner Coordination Program Work Group. The conference report is available to the members, to the public. It is now before you.
The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Shin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the conference report for House Bill 1464 removes the RN requirement for the coordinator of the Sexual Assault Forensic Program. And while that amount of money was included in the House budget, it was not included in the Senate budget, so we went ahead and just left that off for this year. As a reminder to my colleagues, House Bill 1464 passed out of the House 97-0 on February 17th, and so I would move that the House adopt the conference report, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk, close the roll.
Ayes 95, no 0.
Ayes 95, no 0. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 34, conference report is received for Delegate Trans, House Bill 1490. This conference report for House Bill 1490 on page 34 relates to the Department of Social Services, centralized hotline for reports or complaints of child abuse or neglect, response to complaints within 24 hours for children under the age of 3. Conference report is available to the members, to the public, and before you now.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Tran.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 1490 centralizes and standardizes the intake and validity process for child welfare calls and across Virginia. It's close. The conference report is close to the House position when we passed this bill earlier, and it expands the timeline of implementation to 3 years to give the administration and the state government enough time to implement well. And it also maintains a requirement that investigations must occur within 24 hours for child welfare calls for children ages 0 to 3. I move the conference report, ask the House to vote yes.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 93, noes 1.
Ayes 93, noes 1. The conference report is agreed to.
And on page 34, we come to conference report for Delegate McGuire's House Bill 1524. House Bill 1524 relates to carrying assault firearms in public areas, prohibited penalty. Conference report is available to the members, to the public. It is now before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate McGuire.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. HB 1524 is the prohibition on the open carry of all firearms and restriction of concealed carry of some firearms in defined public areas. The conference report for HB 1524 aligns the firearm definitions with the other firearm-related bills we have considered this year, increases the handgun magazine capacity size for concealed carry from 10 to 15 rounds, and keeps in place exemptions for law enforcement, licensed security guards, and retired and off-duty law enforcement. Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk, close the roll.
Ayes 55, noes 38.
Ayes 55, noes 38. The conference report is agreed to.
Going over into the category of Senate bills in conference. Senate bills in conference, page 35, if you're following along that way, a conference report has been received for Senate Bill 2, which I believe, or not believe, Delegate Sewell is the lead conferee. Senate Bill 2 relates to paid family medical leave insurance programs, notice requirements, civil action. The conference report is available to the members of the public and before you once again.
Delegate from Prince William, Delegate Sewell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the cognate to House Bill 1207, which just passed the body, Senate Bill 2 establishes a paid family medical leave program here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. The conference report reverts back to the original definition of employer from our bill, House Bill 1207, and I just want to reiterate that this is common sense policy. As previously noted, Virginians shouldn't have to choose and make them possible choice between their livelihoods and their loved ones. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I move that we pass the conference report, and I ask my colleagues to join me in voting yes.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 62, noes 33.
Ayes 62, noes 33. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 36, we come to the conference report for Senate Bill 81. Senate Bill 81, lead conferee is Delegate Krizik. Senate Bill 81, this conference report relates to enforcement of federal traffic infractions by state and local law enforcement officers, photo, speed, monitoring devices, Planning District 8. Conference report is available to the members of the public and before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill, the conference report aligns with my House Bill 77 conference report, which we passed earlier this morning. Or it does not have the photo speed monitoring devices. It's the House position, and I would move that we adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 84, noes 9.
Ayes 84, noes 9. The conference report is agreed to.
Conference report has been received for Senate Bill 115, Delegate Helmer's lead conferee, SB 115. This conference report relates to concealed handgun permits, reciprocity with other states. Conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is now before the House.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Helmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill, Senate Bill 115, is the bill that requires that reciprocity be only recognized for states that meet Virginia's requirements for concealed handgun permits. The difference between the conference report and the bill as it left the House is it places the responsibility with the Office of the Attorney General in consultation with the Department of State Police to determine who is in compliance. I move we adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 62, noes 33.
Ayes 62, noes 33. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 37, conference report is received for Senate Bill 129, SB 129. This conference report relates to the Virginia Lottery and the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services assessing the regulation and taxation of fantasy contests in the Commonwealth. The conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is now before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill does not tax your fantasy sports office pools, just so you know. I do get a lot of letters. This, what this does now, this conference report, it's the House version, except instead of VDAX regulating, it will be going to lottery, which is consistent with sports betting. And like sports betting now, it will have a 10% tax rate. Sports betting actually is 15%. And there's 2.5% of responsible gaming, and then 2.6% of revenue goes to lottery to offset any costs for regulating fantasy at lottery. I hope that we will move to adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 88, noes 7.
Ayes 88, noes 7. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 39, what conference report is received for Senate Bill 199. This conference report relates to employment, paid sick leave, civil penalties, civil action. The conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is now before you.
Delegate from Virginia Beach, Delegate Converse Fowler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. SB 199 is cognate of my HB 5 that we just voted on earlier. And, Mr. Speaker, I move the House adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 61, noes 34.
Ayes 61, noes 34. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 39, the conference report is received for Senate Bill 200, which Delegate Helmer is the lead conferee. For Senate Bill 200, this conference report relates to the Board of Education, standards of learning assessment and related assessment methods, development, administration, scoring, and release. The conference report is available to the members of the public and before you.
Delegate from Virginia Beach, Delegate Converse Fowler. Oh, I'm sorry. Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Helmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Senate Bill 200 under the conference report literally just adjusted to the version we passed out of the House, and therefore there was a small technical change in the enactment clause. I hope we will adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 85, noes 10.
Ayes 85, noes 10. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 41 of Senate Bills in Conference, conference report is received for Senate Bill 270, legislation. This conference report relates to recovery residences regulations. Conference reports available to the members, to the public, and before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill is identical to my House Bill 931, the conference report we just adopted unanimously. I move adoption of the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 94, no 0.
Ayes 94, no 0. The conference report is agreed to.
On page 42, conference report is received for Senate Bill 288. This is legislation. This conference report relates to protection of employees, standards for heat illness prevention report. Conference report is available to the members, to the public. It is now before the body.
Delegate from Norfolk, Delegate Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So this bill now looks a lot closer to the version that passed out of the House. We made a few additional tweaks in the conference committee. We included an additional exemption for emergency highway maintenance. We gave an additional year for the implementation date for the heat stress protections, and we took away the private right of action. But just want to be clear, we have an opportunity here to create the first ever heat stress protections for workers. So this is a big deal. So I'm going to move this conference committee report and ask the House to adopt it.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 62, noes 33.
Ayes 62, noes 33. The conference report is agreed to.
Next up, on page 43, conference report is received for Senate Bill 358. Delegate Watts is the lead conferee. The conference report relates to continuing care providers' quarterly meeting requirements. The conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is now before the House.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Watts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 358 is the cognate for my House Bill 476, which we just passed by a vote of 85 to 10. I move the conference report for Senate Bill 358.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 90, noes 5.
Ayes 90, noes 5. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 46, we've come to the next conference report, and it is for Senate Bill 394. This conference report relates to the Board of Education, artificial intelligence use in instructional settings, development of AI safety guidance required, AI innovation in education pilot program established. The conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is now before you.
Delegate from Roanoke City, Delegate Rasul.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, Senate Bill 394 has a conference report that lines it up with the House Bill 1186 that we just passed unanimously a few minutes ago around guidance for AI in schools. Hope it be a pleasure of the body to adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 95, no 0.
Ayes 95, no 0. The conference report is agreed to.
On page 47, conference report is received for Senate Bill 491, which relates to public schools, right to free public elementary and secondary education, discrimination based on immigration status prohibited, requirements, civil cause of action. The conference report is available to the members of the public and is now before the body.
Delegate from Roanoke City, Delegate Rasul.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The conference report now for this Senate Bill 491 mirrors the House Bill 836 conference report that we just passed out a couple of hours ago that ensures that students feel safe regardless of immigration status. I hope we pleasure the body to adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 31.
Ayes 64, noes 31. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 48, we have received a conference report for Senate Bill 516. 516. This conference report relates to electric utilities, disconnection reports, State Corporation Commission database, annual summary. Conference report is available to the members of the public and is now before the House.
Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The conference report makes technical changes and makes it identical to my House Bill 828, which passed this chamber by a vote of 98-0. I move the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 95, no 0.
Ayes 95, no 0. The conference report is agreed to.
Same page of the printed calendar. We come next to Senate Bill 524. This conference report relates to mental health and substance abuse disorders, network adequacy standards, comparative analyses report. Conference report is available to the members of the public and is now before you.
Delegate from Henrico County, Delegate Willett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, SB 524, which is the cognate to my HB 6056, ensures equal access for mental health and substance use disorders as we get for medical and surgical care. The conference report adds a delayed enactment. I move that the House adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 93, noes 1.
Ayes 93, noes 1. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 52 of the printed calendar, conference report has been received for Senate Bill 640, which is Chief Conferee is Delegate Tran. Senate Bill 640 relates to the Department of Social Services, corrective action plan, centralized hotlines for reports or complaints of child abuse or neglect. Conference reports available to the members of the public. It is now before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Tran.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. This is the cognate to the bill that I just described, centralizing intake and validity processes at the state level and requiring us to do investigations for calls that are made for kids 0 to ages 3. I move the conference committee report and ask that you vote for it.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 92, no 0.
Ayes 92, no 0. Keep the tradition alive.
There you go.
Somebody got to pay attention.
Over on page 53, a conference report is received for Senate Bill 648. Senate Bill 648 is a conference report that suspends certain officers, requires a study, adopt a remedial plan, and establish meeting requirements of town councils in certain towns. Conference report is available to the members of the public. It is now before you.
And from Fauquier County, Delegate McAuliffe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. SB 648 is the identical Senate cognate of HB 505, which deals with locality conflicts of interest, which we passed only yesterday with bipartisan support, and I move that the House adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 66, noes 28.
Ayes 66, noes 28. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 54, we come to Senate Bill 658, a conference report for Senate Bill 658. This conference report relates to the Secretary of Administration convening a work group on automatic voter registration. And it's before the body, before the House, before the public, and it is now ready to be voted on.
The delegate from Norfolk, Delegate Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This Senate Bill 658 is identical to my HB 319, which I just described, looking at ways to strengthen our automatic voter registration law. So I move the committee report and ask that we support it.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 61, noes 33.
Ayes 61, noes 33. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 57, a conference report is received for Senate Bill Senate Bill 812. Senate Bill 812, this conference report relates to victims of crime, reimbursement for expenses, work group. Conference report is available to the members of the public and before you now.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Shin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 812 is the cognate to my House Bill 1464, which we just passed out moments ago, and the substitute or the conference report says that we would remove the requirement for the RN, and so we passed House Bill 1464, 95 to 0 just moments ago, and so I would move that we adopt this conference report, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 93, no 0.
Ayes 93, no 0. Conference report is agreed to.
And the last conference report that we have at this time is on the same page. It is the next bill in the printed calendar, Senate Bill 823. This conference report relates to regulation of contractors, solar installation companies, sale, lease, or power purchase of solar energy systems. Conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is before you now.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Shin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 823 is the cognate to House Bill 1439, which we also just passed a little while ago, 91 to 4. This is a bill that strengthens consumer protections for residents who are installing solar systems at their home. And now both bills are identical, and I would move that we adopt the conference report, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 92, noes 3.
Ayes 92, noes 3. The conference report is agreed to.
Mr. Speaker, I misspoke a second ago. So that's the last conference report that we've received that's ready to be considered, posted, available. So we have several others. They're not ready or ripe yet. So
House will be at ease. House is coming to order. Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, just several announcements. We have replacement conferees for House Bill 110. For House Bill 110, Speaker appoints on behalf of the House Delegates Lawfer, Simon, and Moorfield. House Bill 110, Delegates Lawfer, Simon, and Moorfield. And for Senate Bill 496, SB 496, the Speaker appoints Delegates Lawfer, Simon, and Moorfield. In addition, we have a number of conference reports, I just said, coming in. If you would continue to bring those to us, we will process them, have them ready whenever we come back together next, which I think is going to be tomorrow. But as we get ready to break for the day, I believe the Committee on Privileges and Elections is going to be meeting downstairs in House Room 1 to take up the item that was on the supplemental calendar, which was Senate Joint Resolution 209, which is one of the confirming resolutions which are not impacted, or they are permitted under procedural resolution. So they'll be meeting immediately upon when we finish here. I also, looking ahead to tomorrow, the caucuses will be meeting beforehand. Democrats at 9:15 and Republicans at 9:30. I have it on very good authority that you should really try to get your conference reports in before noon, or otherwise that may not be a good thing. So try to use your time very wisely. Also, again, I have a list here of the conference reports that you all have been kind enough to let us know that you're not going to be able to reach a conference report. So if there are any other ones on that, as we try to winnow that list down, we would be very grateful to know that information. And then as soon as those conference reports are made available later tonight, we will pop those up and make them available to you so you can look at them and be ready to go tomorrow at 10. So, Mr. Speaker, that's all the announcements I have at this time.
Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring.
I announced it.
Mr. Speaker, I move that when the House adjourns today, it adjourn to reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring moves that when the House adjourns today, it adjourn to reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. As many in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The motion is agreed to. The delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House do now adjourn.
Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring moves that the House do now adjourn. As many in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The House stands adjourned until tomorrow at 10 a.m.